Good morning, everyone. So this morning, our class is also going to be on the 5 elements, all 5, because on Thursday, I forgot to record. So we're going to start at the most subtle level and then work our way up. So go ahead and stand up so you can be aware of how much space you're about to occupy. Okay? Everybody standing. Let's bring the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Let the head bow down slightly. Without changing it, noticing the breath. And then bringing the breath in a little deeper, a little stronger exhale, creating a little more space for an inhale. And after your next exhale, a nice inhale to Om. Letting your eyes flutter open. And then releasing your arms down by your side. Just let them be soft for a minute. And then just look at the space that you're in for a moment. Just notice the container that holds you this morning in your physical space, your room or outdoors, wherever you are. Just notice that. Good. And then look at the space that our body is taking up. Maybe take your legs a little broader, a little wider. Take your arms out a little. And just make some big circles. And then leaning over and making some big circles. Hinging from the hip, not the waist. Good. And then a little bit out to the left side, over to the right side. Just use your left arm for a minute. Good. And then release that. And then with your right arm, half circles. And then both arms, just circling toward one another. And then in the other direction. Good. And then just letting your arms hang for a moment. And notice your legs. Just go ahead and externally rotate and lift the toes on the left foot. Set the toes down. Bend the knee. Come back. Unrotate. Rotate the right leg. Lift the foot. Just right into the heel. Place the foot down. Bend the knee. Good. Come back and unrotate for a moment. And then wiggle your hips. Let's bring our hips. Bring the whole pelvic basket, the whole torso, everything over, parallel to the floor, more or less. And then exhale back up. Again, inhale, coming over, trying to get your spine relatively parallel to the floor. Exhale back up. Good. One more time. And exhale back up. Good. Then heel toe for a little. And let's just see how little tight space we can take. So really bring your knuckles of the big toe together, your knees as close as they can get, your hips as close as they can get. Lift the pelvic floor, pull in the belly, pull in your arms, wrap them down your legs. Take the chin down toward the chest, like a little stick figure. Just notice the restrictions that you feel as you're in this little tiny space. And then gently peel the chin off the chest, bringing the gaze all the way up. Bring your head back into neutral. Let the arms reach all the way out and up. Bring the arms back down. Good. And then taking the legs further apart. Good. So as we notice this space, what's moving us? Air element. So let's make some big rotations of the pelvic around the pelvic basket. Using the pelvic basket, so we're one unit. Don't go too far back or too far forward or too far side to side. And do not hike a hip out. Staying integrated, other side. So the air element is responsible for all of the movement in the body. We just moved through space, and now we're moving through air as well. Good. Coming on up, coming back to neutral. Great. And then just bring your heels in for a moment. Let your knees come out over your ankles, just a little bit of goddess pose for just a moment. I want us to think about liquid and the water element. So think about the blood in the veins, the saliva in your mouth. Think about all the interstitial fluid. We're about 80% water. And then straighten the legs. Take the heels back out. And think about the circulation in the body. So just raising your arms up. Anatomical position. Good. Pull in the belly, lift the pelvic floor. Think about all of the circulation of blood, of lymph. Good. Lower the arms. Fire element should have come first. Fire element. Lift the belly in. And think about your digestive fire. Have you had breakfast? Probably not. Me either. So think about that fire in the belly that's ready to digest our food later in the day. Good. Great. Fire, fire, fire. Think about cellular fire, all of the metabolic fire. Go ahead and externally rotate and lean. Pull the belly in, lift the pelvic floor. This little tiny triangle for just a moment. Stoking the fire in the belly. Good. Come back up. Release that. Bend the knee. Unrotate. Rotate right leg. Good. Lean. Go ahead and open the arms. So the arms are open, and then just lower like a pendulum your right arm and left arm toward the ceiling. Good. This little variation of a triangle. Pull in the pelvic floor, pull in the belly. Fire. Good. Coming back and unrotate. Good. Let's heel toe for a minute. Coming all the way back. Little space. Air. Fire. Water. Earth. So thinking of all of the stable parts of your body. Your bones, your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments, your teeth, the cartilage, everything that makes up your physical body. A combination of all 5 elements. Good. Let's go back again, taking up space, bringing all 5 elements into our practice. So let's go ahead and externally rotate. Go ahead and rotate the left leg. Bend the knee. Warrior 2 knee. Good. Check with your back heel. Make sure it doesn't need to go out a little bit more to give you more stability along your right leg into the groin. And then let the arms float up. Good. Think again about all 5 elements in your body. Just thinking about them. Good. And then gazing out over your extended fingers. Great. Let's reach out to the left. Reach, but don't collapse your torso. Keep your body open, 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 open. Reach. And then relax your left arm like a pendulum. Good. Straighten the left leg. Let the pendulum still hang. Good. And then the right arm is going to lift up toward the ceiling. So again, visiting triangle. Face the palms toward me for a moment. Just open palms. Good. And then exhale up. Release the arms. Bend the knee. Good. Let's go backwards into Joan of Arc. Dying warrior. Good. Come back into warrior 2. And then straighten the leg and come out. Great. Okay. Other side. So externally rotating, bend the knee, warrior 2. Make sure your left heel is out enough to support the whole of the left leg and groin. Good. Now we're going to reach, 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 reach. But don't close your torso down. Keep your torso open, chest open. Good. And then letting your right arm hang like a pendulum. Good. And left arm on top, stacked to the ceiling. Straighten the right leg. Good. Palms facing me. Nice big palms. Lift the pelvic floor. Belly is in. We're going to come back into Warrior Two. And then lean into Joan of Arc. Breathe. Don't let your breath disappear. Good. And come back to Warrior Two. And then arms up, leg out, everything back, and then moving into our Tadasana. Good. Taking up less space for a moment and being aware of air, fire, water, and earth making up our body. And our body, our whole body-mind complex being a microcosm of the macrocosm. Everything around us made up of the same 5 elements. Simply different methods of transformation. On your next inhale, let your eyes flutter open. Good. So let's go ahead and come to the front of your mat for just a moment. Good. I want us to be moving through space. We have a full moon coming up, like in a day or two, I think. So we're going to just do one set of moon salute really, really slowly with lots of mindfulness, okay? So coming to a nice Tadasana, bringing the hands into the heart, rooting down through your feet, your legs. Good. As you inhale, release the arms down, draw them back and up. Tiny little thoracic back bend. As you come into this space, it's like a sliver of a moon. As we begin our next exhale, we're going to dive ourselves forward, hand to foot pose. If you can release your head, if you're inverting, fine. Otherwise, just looking forward. If you can invert today, just pull your head down, chin into the chest. And then on your next inhale, beginning to look forward and dropping the hips down into a squat. This little tiny, tight, full moon. Tucking the chin into the chest, getting as round as you can in your body. Peel the chin off the chest. Inhale, begin to look forward, placing the hands down on the floor beside you. Come up a little and step your left leg back into a lunge. Drop to the knee. We're going to sweep our arms up into crescent lunge. This little crescent moon. And then float the arms down, bringing the right leg back to meet the left, coming up into half. Beginning to look forward, bringing the arms down. You can lay out your feet if you'd like, taking the hips back to the heels, reaching forward into an extended child's pose. And on your next inhale, peeling the forehead off the floor, looking forward, we're going to slither ourselves into a cobra, making your way the best way that you can. Breathing. Try no hands with your cobra. Reach all 10 toenails deeply into the floor, little toe especially. Lift the pelvic floor. Keep the belly in. Good. And then press into your hands and knees and press back into that extended child. Gazing forward, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, use the arms to press back up and into our half moon. Bringing the hands out to the sides and down. Bringing the hands forward, we're going to place our left foot over by our left hand, doing our crescent lunge on the other side. And then floating the arms down. Curl the back toes under. Come off the back knee. We're going to have a little hop to our low squat. You can come up onto the ball of the foot if you'd like, wherever your squat is, making a little tight full moon. And then slowly the hips begin to lift, hands to the floor, Tadasana. Bend the knees as much as you need to. And then inhale, arms to the sides, coming up. That little sliver of a moon. Hips are grounded, not thrust forward. The back bend is only in the thoracic spine, upper spine, and hands into the heart. Good. So that's one half of our sun salute. Now we're going to move to the other side. So again, moving slowly, taking several breaths. You can focus on your inhale, focus on your exhale, but take as many catch breaths as you need to throughout the movement, okay? So, standing in Tadasana, hands at the heart, take a nice inhale. Exhale, arms floating down. Flip the palms to the front, inhale, arms up. Begin to show the sternum to the ceiling for that thoracic back bend, this little sliver of a moon. And then beginning our journey forward, hinging at the hips, Tadasana. Releasing the head or not, you decide. On your next inhale, gazing forward, and exhale, drop the hips down, bring the hands into the heart, chin into the chest, a little tiny full moon. Peel the chin off the chest, looking forward. Bring the hands to either side of the feet. Lift the hips a little. Step your right foot back into a lunge. Drop to the knee. We'll swoop our arms into our crescent lunge. Slowly float the arms down. Either side of your mat. Taking your left leg back to meet the right, coming up into our half moon. Slowly making our way down into our extended child. Reach the hands out, lower the feet, hips to heels. Stretching out the arms and the torso. Take a breath or two. And then on your next inhale, begin to make your way into a cobra, slithering yourself along the floor. All 10 toenails into the floor. See if you can do without your hands. And then pressing into the hands, coming back into our extended child. Go ahead and draw the hands underneath the shoulders, press the floor up, coming back into our half moon. Floating the arms down. Lean forward, place them on either side of your mat. Stepping your right leg forward into our lunge. Sweeping the arms forward and up. Floating the arms down. Leave a space for your left foot. Curl the back toes under, come off the knee, a little hop to our squat. And then inhale, begin to peel the chin off the chest, coming up, Hasta Padasana. And all the way up. Bringing the hands into the heart. And then releasing the arms beside you, taking several delicious, nourishing breaths. Again, all 5 elements. Space. Think of these elements for a moment inside each cell. Space, air, fire, water, and earth. That mitochondria, that fire of the cell. All the interstitial fluids. Just thinking of all of the body as a combination of the 5 elements, this stula sharira, our gross body. And then on your next inhale, let the eyes flutter open. Good. And then we're going to come apart again, one more time. So this time we're going to fold over, hinging at the hips. If you'd like to have a block, it'd be good. We're going to do a twist once we get there. Okay. So just taking your block, as you begin to hinge at the hips, take the whole torso, so no waist bending. Take everything together with you. Good. And then place the block somewhere underneath your sternum. If, like most of us, you had a tendency to take your hips way back behind your heels, bring your hips back into alignment with your heels, as if you were seated on the floor, hips to heels. Good. And then let's go ahead and take our left hand onto the block and our right hand onto our sacrum. So no twisting yet. You're just gazing at the floor. We're going to use the right shoulder to open our torso and twist us to the right, but we're going to keep our hips super stable. So lift your toes, press into the whole of the foot, except for toes lifted. Keep your hand on your low sacrum so that you know it's not moving. And then as you're ready, inhale, open the right shoulder, gaze to the right, and exhale, close. Inhale. Maybe different for you to inhale and twist. Go with it. Just see what happens as you resist against the breath. Hips are not moving, just opening the shoulder, opening the torso, getting the twist into the thoracic spine. No low back twisting. Good. And then release it all the way. Right hand on the block, left hand on your sacrum. And it's that left shoulder opening, sternum toward the left side. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Close it all the way. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Good. And then release it. Place both hands on the block. Lift your toes for a moment. Press into the full foot. Good. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, press up. Just coming up. Leave your block hopefully where it was. We're going to go one more time. This time we're going to add the arms, but we want to make them as an accessory that will help you, not necessarily create more weight and hinder you. So you're going to make a decision. Take a nice inhale. Let's put our little finger side of our hands into those hip creases and let your goal be to begin to hide your hand. Good. And then take the hands and place them on the block. Bring your hips back into alignment with your feet. Left hand on the block, right hand on your sacrum. Inhale, open to the right side. Pause. Press into the block. Continue to open your shoulder, breathing naturally. And then for a moment, taking your right arm out in front of you, parallel to the floor. totally parallel to the floor, palm facing the floor. And then on your next inhale, press into the block and open your right arm. Good. Exhale, release all the way down. Great. Hopefully that really worked for you. Good. And now our left hand on the sacrum. Good. Take an inhale and open the left side, shoulder opening. Pause, breathe naturally. Good. Just be there for a moment, gazing to the left, sternum pressing into the left, press into the block with the right hand. And then bring your left arm out parallel to the floor, palm facing down. And then raise the arm up. Press into the right hand on the block. Hips are even. Twist is happening only in the thoracic spine where you have ribs. And lower. Good. Nice long torso. Good. And then heel, toe, heel. Bring your elbows above your knees for a moment and just lower your hips in a little. Good. And then lift the hips, heel, toe, whatever you might need to go into our squat. Good. So just revisiting the squat for a moment. We're going to revisit it with a twist right here. So this is really working into that downward flow of air. Apanavayu, responsible for childbirth, menstruation, evacuation, every excretion, everything that's going out of the body. It also keeps us stable, keeps us grounded. So just being here for a moment. And then we're going to add a twist. Good. So go ahead and place your left hand on the floor. Place it inside your knee. And just press into the left hand as you open your right arm and shoulder to the right. Press into the left hand. Good. And come back. Find your neutral, find your namaskar arms. And then right hand on the floor, back of the arm, tricep pressing into the knee. Good. And then open the left shoulder. So belly button down is firmly grounded and rooted toward the floor, and your left ribs are opening to the left side. Release it, come into neutral. Good. And then just placing your hands on the floor. For those of you who want to do Bakasana right now, that's perfectly fine, where you can just balance and look forward. Those of you who are not Bakasanas yet, just come forward, come off your heels and press your hands firmly into the floor. Lift your belly, lift your pelvic floor. We're just up on the ball of the foot. Good. And then we're going to roll the ball of the foot toward the floor, the whole foot toward the floor, the heel and everything. Reach forward, counterbalance. And then just again, pressing into the hands, heels roll off. Go for it. If you're into Bakasana, just go right on up. Otherwise, we're just preparing our body, our mind. Back into the heels. Good. And then come up one more time onto the ball of the foot. Good. Pull in the belly, pull up the pelvic floor, looking forward, not down. And release. Good. And then taking your hands back behind you, lower your sit bones down to the floor. Good. Place both legs with the knees bent in front. Big toe knuckles touching, heels separate. So big toe knuckles are touching. You've got space between your heels. Sitting up tall onto your sit bones. And then go ahead and extend out the right leg along the floor. Good. And the left leg, bring it in for a moment. Open the leg. And then open. So you're just doing a little bit of external rotation. Good. And then go ahead and extend out the left leg. Draw in the right leg. Good. And again, just a little bit of rotation. The legs may be very different. Just seeing where the rotation on that leg is. The whole leg is moving as a unit. Good. And then extend out through both legs. Both legs are fully extended out. Heels are separate. Big toe knuckles are touching. And then let's make a right angle with our body. Pulling the arms up. Go ahead and reach the arms up, swallow your neck, and then shoulders moving down, creating lots of space between your ears and your shoulders. Good. And then release the arms down to either side. And then slowly, let's bend the knees. Put the feet on the floor. So bend the knees until the feet are fully on the floor. Toes completely on the floor, not just halfway. Good. That brought your ribs hopefully closer to your thighs. Good. So sitting up nice and tall. And just slide your arms down towards your feet. Surrender your chin towards your knees or nose or forehead. Taking a westward stretch. You can tuck the chin into the chest, getting round in the thoracic spine. And then peel the chin off the chest, beginning to look forward, coming back up, sitting firmly on top of the sit bones. Good. Place your hands there for a moment. Just lift your bottom up, shake it out for a second. Put it back down on top of the sit bones. And then just for a moment, raise our shins to parallel to the floor. So shins are parallel, belly is in, pelvic floor is in, everything is in. Good. And then I want you to decide how you want to make your way to the floor, okay? It can be either, I'm going to grab a block to have it handy for my inversion. So if you want a block for your inversion in a moment, go ahead and grab it. Otherwise, you're sitting up. So we're going to think about how we're going to get to the floor. But for some of us, we're going to try today to get to the floor by starting to roll back into our sacrum and just let ourselves expand to the floor. So once you're there, just being still for a moment, just letting the breath move through the body. Relaxing your shoulders, your jaw. And then go ahead and place your feet mat width apart. We're going to do windshield wiper pose. So knees are bent, knees are in the air, feet are on the floor firmly on either side of your mat. So touch the edge of your mat with your feet. Let's drop our knees over to the left, arch the spine, and press the right knee a little toward the floor. Look back toward the right. And inhale, come back to neutral. And then exhale, drop your knees over to the right. Arch the spine, big arch. Look a little bit over to the left. Press the left knee a little closer to the floor. And come back into neutral. And then you decide if you want one more or not. For those of us who are inverting, this is the time. So this is to take your headstand, shoulder stand, whatever inversion you normally do. But you're also welcome to do Viparit Karani Mudra, topsy-turvy pose with a block, okay? The block goes underneath your sacrum very firmly, and then knees are in. If you're not inverting, and that would be if you're on the first few days of your menstrual cycle, have glaucoma, eye pressure problems, hiatal hernia, active gastric ulcer or reflux, don't invert. Just keep your bottom down on the floor and rest your legs against a wall. Just let your legs be up. That helps the lymph come back and recirculate, okay? But if you are inverting, the legs are coming in and up, but they're not engaged. They're just relaxing. The legs are just soft in the sockets, just letting the bones balance there. Breathing. Relax your face, your jaw. And then slowly coming out of your inversion, wherever you are, taking it slowly. And if you need any counter pose, taking that. And then finding yourself in Shavasana, corpse pose, that little taste of death at the end of asana. Just being aware of the body, the breath, the mind. Triputi, linking together these three energies of body, breath, and mind. Remembering we're a microcosm of the macrocosm. Earth to earth, water to water, fire to fire, air to air, space to space. Coming home to the five elements that make up these physical bodies. Slowly coming back into the body with the breath, the mind. Beginning to roll your eyes in the sockets, moving the tongue in the mouth, wiggling your nose, wriggling your ears, swimming the fingers and the toes as we bring all five senses back online. All of our information comes through these five senses. Every sense corresponds to an element. Slowly beginning to move the body into any integral way that you'd like. Making your way over to one side, an embryo pose, all curled up, safe and secure. Just curling up the body. And then just noticing the significance. Corpse pose, where we can leave behind anything that no longer serves us. Embryo, new beginnings, new possibilities. With this in mind, beginning to press the floor away, spiraling yourself up. Keep the chin into the chest until you're all the way up and can just stack the head on top of the erect spine. Just being still for a few more moments, letting the asana do their work. We're going to move into our pranayama practice. Pran, all of the energy, the vital energy of the body, of the universe. Yam, restraining, withholding, drawing under control. So controlling the breath for a few moments. Good. So exhaling the breath all the way out, belly to spine. Inhale, belly. Exhale. Don't let it go past the belly. Inhale, belly. Exhale. Inhale, belly. Exhale. Don't let it climb into the spine. Inhale, belly. Exhale. Hold the belly right where it is. Inhale, chest. Exhale. Inhale, chest. Exhale. Inhale, chest. Exhale. And inhale, chest. Exhale. Good. Now fall back into your natural breath. Whatever it is, however it is, just falling back into your natural rhythm. Combining those two movements for what we call the yogic breath. So we'll exhale, belly to spine. Release the belly as the breath comes into the belly. Draw that same inhale into the chest. Pause and exhale fully, completely. Remember that exhale is what defines the size and the quality of our inhalation. So exhale all the way. Ready? Begin with an exhale. Exhale the breath all the way out, belly to spine. Release the belly, inhale belly. Chest, draw that same inhale into the chest. Chest expands, moves. Top of the inhale, slight pause. Exhale, slowly. Let the air go out as the lungs recoil. Chest collapses, comes back in. A little tug at the belly, little belly tug in. Good. And then inhale belly. Release the muscles. Draw that same inhale up into the chest. The belly will recede all on its own as you fill the chest. Top of the inhale, a slight pause. And then slowly exhale the breath. One more on your own. One yogic breath into the belly, chest. Slow, gentle, smooth exhalation. We're going to move into one more aspect of control, adding a brief hold on either side. Kumbhak on both the inhale and the exhale, both the Puraka and the Rechaka. Okay? So exhaling the breath all the way out. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. You have to go a little faster. Inhale, hold, no locks, nothing, simple. Exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, gently like a baby. Exhale, hold. Inhale, hold. Exhale, hold. One more set. Inhale, hold. Exhale, hold. Falling back into your natural breath rhythm. Just letting yourself fall back into your natural rhythm. No control. Zero control. We're going to move into our meditation. And today our meditation will also be on the 5 elements. We're going to use the mudra and the mantra for each of the 5 elements. We'll begin with the lower. We'll begin with earth element. The bowl will ring 3 times to begin, 3 times to end, and at 1-minute intervals while we switch, releasing one mudra, one mantra, and then move into the next. Earth element. The mudra, taking our ring finger to our thumb and letting the backs of the hands rest on the legs. Tip of the ring finger to the tip of the thumb, resting the hands on the back of the legs. The seed syllable lung, 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 lung. Repeating it silently or allowing yourself to think of the qualities of earth. Mountains, trees, minerals, bones, teeth, cartilage, lung, 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 lung. Releasing the mudra, releasing the mantra. Up, water element. Taking the tip of the thumb to the tip of the pinky finger. Tip of the thumb to the tip of the pinky finger. And then relaxing the back of the hands along the legs. Thinking of liquid in the body, liquid outside of the body. Oceans and streams and rivers and rain, dew. Water inside the body. The seed syllable, vung, 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 vung. Repeating it silently or focusing on the quality of the element itself. Releasing the mantra and the mudra. Moving into Agni, fire. Taking the thumb to the first knuckle of the ring finger. Thumb to the first knuckle of the ring finger. And then resting the back of the hands along the legs. Bringing yourself into the fire element. Fire inside the body, the metabolic energy. Cellular fire, digestive fire. Cooking fire, bonfires, forest fires, fire outside. The seed syllable, rung, 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 rung. Releasing the mantra and the mudra. Moving into Vayu, air. Taking the index finger to the root of the thumb, index finger to the root of the thumb, and folding the thumb over the first knuckle. Resting the back of the hands along the legs. Index finger to the root of the thumb, folding the thumb over the index finger. Allowing yourself to think of movement in the body. Air element. Pushing our food through the digestion. Pushing the blood through the veins. All of the movement inside the body. Outside, wind. A breeze, a hurricane, wind on the water. Seed syllable, young, Yum, 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 yum. Repeating the syllable or focusing on the element itself. Releasing the mudra and releasing the mantra. Akash, ether or space. The mudra taking the tip of the middle finger to the tip of the thumb. Tip of the middle finger to the tip of the thumb. And then resting the hands along the backs of the legs. Space, the space in your body, the space in the room, the space in your village, the space all around you, our galaxy, the space in which all of creation unfolds. The seed syllable, hum, 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 hum. Repeating the mantra slowly or focusing on the element itself. Hum, hum. Releasing the mudra, releasing the mantra. And for just a moment, being still, focusing on body, breath, mind. Bringing our hands into the heart, Anjali. For just a moment, bring in someone or something that needs a little extra energy to which you can offer your practice today. Any merit we may have earned, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. Letting that thought, the thought of your own personal offering, slip out of your mind into your heart and out of your heart into the very palms of your hands and lift it up and just let it go off into the universe. Bringing the hands back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Let me get this set up. Okay, let me fix it where you can speak. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Okay, and now you can talk should you like to. Let me get where I can see your pretty faces if you've got your camera on. Well, not all of you do, but some of you do, and I can see some of you. Nice to see you. Welcome. You're very, very welcome, Brenda. Thank you for coming today. So 5 elements again. First, I want to remind everybody, today is the beginning Hatha Yoga Nushasanam. Today, the explanation of yoga begins, which is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and Mount Madonna Center will be beginning book 1, first of everything, Hatha Yoga Nushasanam. Right now, the study of yoga, the explanation of yoga, the diving into yoga begins. So today at 10:15 our time in Guatemala, 9:15 in California, you can go online to mountmadonna.org and just come down to the free online classes, and you'll see that the Yoga Sutras today starts with a Ganesh Puja, asking Ganesh to remove any obstacles and that the study be rich and fruitful and diverse. So you're welcome, Charmone. I'm glad. Hopefully your knee is much better. Any questions about today's practice or about the 5 elements, or any comments about using mudra and mantra? How was the pranayama? A little bit of holding. Yes, Jean.
My question is about the difference between a hold and a pause and a lock.
There's a huge difference initially. A lock really is supposed to lock it in, and it requires a little bit initially until you learn how to do it properly, and it requires a little bit of physical effort. But people really often get the wrong idea and they lock it in with too much physical effort. So I think if you learn to just pause the breath with no locks, then when you do decide to lock or learn the locks and decide to apply them, then you can have a more this is a Southern expression, a more better understanding of how that energy expands when you apply the locks, right? Because when you're just holding, you can feel the energy, and then you let it go, and then you hold that out, and then you bring it in, and you hold that in. So you can feel that you're moving energy, but you aren't compressing it. The reason for compressing and applying the locks at all is to move Kundalini up into Sushumna and hopefully create an awakening, spiritual, mental, everything awakening. So, I mean, that's why, according to the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, that we are playing with the locks at all. But I think it helps prepare one by not locking, but holding, and really preparing the body for those pauses, so that when you do apply the locks, you begin to feel how that pran begins to grow. It expands. You get bigger. I get bigger. That helps?
Yes, thanks.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anything else? We did a lot of stuff today. We pushed in all 5 elements, and hopefully you felt a little taste of them moving in through your body. And hopefully when you got to the meditation, you could find that you were the microcosm of the macrocosm, that you are just those same elements, just redistributed in a different form. Yes, Jana?
Yeah, I found my mind during the meditation of the elements going to like thinking about the death process and how this is helpful to just like help the mind prepare to let go of the body, just seeing it as it all going back to
the 5
or just
elements.
Joining what it's always been joined with, just transforming and letting it go.
Remember, that's physics for us. There is only transformation. So You know, Ayurveda, yoga, we all think these 5 elements is it. You know, everything that's on the periodic table fits in there. Most of them fit into earth, I must say. Minerals and everything that's all hard and, you know, but gases, we have lots of stuff in the ether element too. So everything that ever exists always came out of the 5 elements, and everything that will exist comes out of the 5 elements. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully that process is not anytime soon, but thinking like it'll keep my mind from like wanting to grasp to like, oh, this is my body, it's so solid, and but just to like see it all. Yeah.
I think Shavasana helps with that too. I really think taking a Shavasana at the end of practice, getting ourselves accustomed to releasing and letting go, because it is so hard. How many of you climb in bed at night and realize like about 10 minutes into it that your jaw is still clenched, right? It just happens. So, you know, like that peeling it off. I try to get into bed every night and do Shavasana for myself, like just my own peeling off, peeling. And sometimes I'll get to the end and I'll realize that I tightened something up again without even realizing it, and then have to let it go. For me, often it's a shoulder. That's, you know, where I hold some tension, and I'll find that the shoulder tighten back up. Yeah, I think that little practice of death at the end is super important. Anything else? I mean, I can talk all day about the 5 elements and how they influence us. And I think I just like here, I live on a volcano. Sylvia, who's here with me, we both live on a volcano. And hopefully it's dormant. If it's not, just know that we still loved living here until we left. And it's been dormant for the last 700-800 years that we know of, but you know, never know. So, and the energy that I feel here in this area is truly amazing. You know, I think that the space that you're in, you pick up that energy from that space. Do you guys remember when you were, I don't know if you did it when you were little, you get 2 coat hangers, 2 metal coat hangers, and you would straighten them out and then bend them and make divining sticks. And you would walk through with those divining sticks over, and you would watch them turn every time you got to a grid. And you could grid your yard. We as kids gridded our yard. We would walk, and by the time we were done, we had a pattern across the yard of where the energy intersects. Have you all done that as kids? Raise your hand if you did that. Oh my goodness, a lot of you are really missing out. There is a very physical energy around us that is not only palpable, it's like the people who divine water, and you can divine the energy, and you don't need anything except 2 coat hangers, and it's kind of hard to find those metal coat hangers nowadays, but that's what you need, is a metal coat hanger, and you just straighten it out, and then you make it a right angle, and then just balance it over your index fingers and walk slowly, and it'll turn, and then it'll come back, and then you keep going until and if you have another kid behind you with lye that you use on the baseball field, they can mark the grids until you have a whole grid in your yard and sort of see where it is. So I did that when I first came to San Juan with my friend Mary Bell, and this place is intersected all over. I mean, which is why it's a volcano, right? So just for us to think about it, this energy is real. This is it. We are electric beings. You know, we are powered by this energy in the universe, and that's the energy that stimulates our chakras. That's the energy that shoots up Kundalini when we have an awakening. That's just the energy that you also rely on to move through space, you know, that we rely on just to be mobile and get around. But it's very palpable. So I encourage everybody to get one pair of coat hangers and walk your house and see what kind of energy you got going on there. There must be some YouTube videos about people doing energy divining. There must be. Because I don't think it's just Tennessee, because Sylvia did it in England. So, although I must admit that almost all of that, you know, a good fourth of me came from England. The other, another fourth from Scotland. The other fourth from Ireland, and the other fourth from the Netherlands. So it was all kind of the same thing. Lots of divinity going over there. Lots of stuff. Lots of stones that are energy centers too, right? And that's their.
And we did it in Philadelphia.
All right, Jean, Philly.
Yeah.
That's good. Also, a lot of English, Irish, Scot stuff going on there. Yes, John.
What do you do with that information when you know where the energy is intersecting?
Well, then you tell me.
Okay.
So, where would it be good to have the head of your bed?
Well, I've always heard facing towards the east. I don't really know.
Right, but probably not directly over a diagonal, not over a section, right? Mm-hmm. You wouldn't want your head, your pillow, like where you have a big energy section and then plan to sleep well. I think it happens naturally. I think we crawl all over our bed and move and swish, and because we can feel that we're in these energy centers and we do move. Yeah. That's a little esoteric, but just try it out and see what you think. Cam, where were you when you did it?
I was in Hawaii.
Wow. Okay. But also lots of good healing processes going on there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's so great to see you all and see the names of those of you who physically I'm not seeing, because I know your name and I know what you look like. So have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Please come to Sutra class at 10:15 if you can. It's like a brand new beginning. And even if you don't think you want to study the Yoga Sutras forever, like us Sutra geeks, you could still come and see a real Ganesh Puja and just have fun for an hour and a half, okay? So,
are they going to record that? Because I have a prior obligation.
I don't know, sweetie. I don't know. I think they're recording them. I think they are, but I, honest to God, don't know.
I believe so. And now that you mentioned the puya, I think they were saying that you can bring either your mind to do is that Premda said for the Yoga Sutras or the Bhagavad Gita?
It's for the sutras today.
So yeah, so the simplest is a piece of paper and water, so you can draw, or the most complex is a little bit of turmeric with water in a paste and a surface to draw.
Yeah,
I have never done it, so I don't know.
And you don't have to have anything, but that's if you want to participate in the puja. Yeah. Okay, so it's great to see you, and hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and yeah, just so glad to have you here with me practicing. Thanks everyone.